Hello, this is Olive Aguas, and I want to hit you with a recipe with extra flavor, and it's made with pink Himalayan salt. So Himalayan pink crystal salt originates from the primal seas, and it was dried at a time where there was no pollution. So the salt is totally pure and contains extra minerals and trace elements which are found in the human body. So it's actually a really amazing salt. And we're gonna make my Tuscan herb salt with it. And this is perfect this time of the year because you have so much extra herbs growing from your garden, and this is a good way to preserve them and give a nice extra flavor to salt. And actually it's a nice gift as well because we're gonna end up with this gorgeous beauty. So what we're gonna start with is we have about 250 grams of pink Himalayan salt here. And I'm gonna put half of it in the food processor. And I'm going to blend all the herbs up in there with it, and then we're going to add the rest of the salt. So first let's start with about half of it in here. It's a good rough mix. And then we're going to take all these herbs and just throw them straight in. Give them a good cut. So we have the beautiful thyme in here, and now I'm going to add the rosemary. Now we have this big bunch of rosemary. We're just throwing this straight in. And the whole kitchen smells gorgeous. Now we're just going to give this a spin until it's fully processed and the salt's actually going to turn green. Now here's a little something special. I'm going to add half the zest of this orange. Now when I add thyme and rosemary and orange zest together, it has an incredible Tuscan zing to it. So this is actually going to be a little bit of a magic ingredient. It's the orange zest. We're just going to take the zester and just right over the top. I'm going to add the rest of the salt in here, and we have the orange zest in here as well. And we're just going to give this a quick spin because we just want to combine it. And we don't need to process it anymore because the herbs are really broken down in here. Check this out. Beautiful powdery green herb, and you see the specks of orange zest in it as well. This is beautiful. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take a shallow pan like this and dump it straight in here, and we want the herbs to dry, so we're just going to let it sit outside or just overnight. Don't need to put it in a dehydrator or anything. And just make sure all the salt is just lightly spread over the top. So here's our salt. We're just actually going to let this sit either in the sun or just let it sit overnight in a warm place. And in the end, just put it in a jar or put a ribbon around it and give it to a friend. I love actually putting it on top of salads, just sprinkle in a little bit more to give it some extra flavor. Or what's another great thing is using it for dipping. So if you have a little bit of olive oil, just put a bit of this here in the jar and just add a little olive oil to the top, and it's beautiful for dipping. So here is my Tuscan herb salt.